There is good boy Steph himself, the world champion. Steph, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. First of all, Steph, unification. You and Brandon Figueroa coming up on September 18th. How excited are you for that one?
I feel good about it. Well overdue for both sides, both parties. So I feel good, and it's almost here. So I'm ready to get it on, ready to get everything out the way, ready to get in the ring.
For those who don't know the origins of what I am, it's kind of an underrated and a very under-the-radar rivalry between you both. For those who don't know, we were right outside of his hometown in Texas, in the Rio Grande Valley area, over 2 years ago. And you fought, and you looked fantastic, I believe, against Isaac Avalar. And then he went ahead and fought Javier Chacon. He captured an interim championship at that point. After the fight was over, you got in the ring. He said, yeah, I want to fight him. You're like, yeah, let's run it next. And that was 2 years ago. So can you tell us from your standpoint, how did this all develop in regards to you maybe fighting him, 2 years ago? Then it didn't happen. Then during the pandemic, it was possibly being talked about. But now you guys finally get set to collide.
I feel like on the business side of things, it only made sense for us to face when it really mattered. Now, like for a unification bout, he has a title, I has a title. It makes sense. It makes money. It makes the both of us happy. It's true, and this is to show who's the better man now. Back then, I feel like once we stepped foot in the ring, we both wanted to fight. Well, I know I wanted to fight, but I don't know what happened. I asked for the fight after it, but I'm not sure of exactly what happened. Now, during the pandemic, I feel like everything kind of got messed up, but Al Heyman and PBC and everyone did their job of orchestrating this whole thing with the 122-pound division, and now we right where we at, where I feel like we needed to be all along.
Did you think a little over a year ago, because I talked with you literally during fight week when you were getting ready to fight Angelo Leo the first time, and you were so excited, you were amped up, and then literally a few hours later found out you tested positive for COVID. Thankfully, you were able to get past that. You fought him in January. There you go. You got your mask and everything. But, tell us about the past 12 to 13 months that you've been on, because you've literally been on a roller coaster.
Yeah, the COVID situation was like, first I was one of the people that thought like, man, that was bull crap. I don't believe the COVID. Certain people coming out. First it was celebrities coming out saying, but then when I caught it, I actually felt my body changing. It was like, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah.
So it's like dealing with that, dealing with the loss of a fight, having to re-prepare myself, getting a preparation again for the same opponent, and cut and switch a lot of things in my camp that I did, regaining the title. Now I'm coming back around towards this month again. I made it through August without the COVID, so I'm good. So
because of what you went through, are you really extra cautious and careful and things along those lines? Because obviously this is, I don't think it's anything to mess around with. I've had friends that have passed away from it. So it's, you have to really take it seriously, in my estimation.
For sure. It's a serious thing, and I am taking it very serious. I got 2 things, hand sanitizer in my car. Yeah. So it's like, and as far as the gym, I've trained this last couple weeks down at Danny Garcia's gym. No one's in there but me and my team. We take the test just to stay up on ourselves. So it's like we're doing what we need to do to get the job done. And honestly, I pray every morning that me and Brandon stay cool of injuries and COVID, so we both can face one another. Because I really want to get this. I really want to get down and dirty in that ring.
Yeah, well, you guys have been on the collision course for over 2 years. So now that we have a little over 2 weeks ahead before the fight, it's like, we're almost there, and it's almost fight time.
Yeah, for sure. We almost there.
How has the preparation been like for you? This is obviously a fight that you've desired and clamored for a long time. But what has your preparation been like? Is it the same? before, prior to your fight with Angelo Leo, or have you really amped it up? Because, I mean, look, Figueroa looked fantastic in his win over Luis Neri.
I feel like it's the same slightly, but it's still different. And me personally, I wouldn't say it was a fantastic. I wouldn't say he looked fantastic. The knockout overcame how clumsy the fight looked a little bit more. So I just say that in that aspect.
What do you mean about the clumsy the fight from your standpoint? Tell us what you saw.
It wasn't like the fight wasn't so neat. He made it dirty. He made it wild. So it wasn't like just a clean boxing fight that you can say, oh, he looked good. Like, no, Brandon looked real good. No, it just was the knockout that made it, whoa, that was a good fight. That was the knockout overcame how I feel like the fight looked.
Well, it was a fight that was fought in the trenches. Would you say that at least?
Yeah, I can see that. It was slightly a trench fight because at the while Neri retreated a little bit, but which he should have been doing from the beginning. I feel like he should have boxed him a little bit more and engaged here and there. He's a smaller guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was training with Eddie Ronuso, they was working on him with defense, and he didn't want to do that, and he left them, and it showed in that fight. He should have worked with them for that. So it's like.
So you would say, just hearing from what you're saying, you would say it was more so that Neri didn't look good instead of Figueroa looking really good and great. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I can say that. I mean, we seen the same Figueroa all the time. It's really no different, but not saying he won't come any different when he faces me. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But once I look back at that fight, it's like we see the same Figueroa that we see if he was fighting Chacon or the one he got the Sega, the one he got the draw with. We see the same Figueroa. So I wouldn't say that, but I'm not saying that he will fight me the same.
Yeah. So you don't think? Do you think he's improved since over the past few fights, or do you think he's pretty much just stayed the same? What you see is what you get out of Brandon Figueroa.
No, I say he improved as far as his condition. He improved as far as him just growing. He's still growing. He's 24, 25. He's still growing. So of course there will be some improvement at what he do. I'm not saying he just stands stagnant. If he had, he would have been lost already.
Yeah.
But he is improving and the areas that he are good at.
So now the fight got moved to September 18th. September, that's a big holiday for Mexican Independence Day holiday. It'll be at Park MGM in Las Vegas on Showtime Championship Boxing. Did you mind moving the date? Was that better for you? Does it not matter? What went through your mind when they said, hey, listen, let's go to September 18th. That's a big boxing day or day for boxing fight fans that they've been accustomed to seeing fights on Cinco de Mayo weekend and also Mexican Independence Day. What went through your mind when they said you're now fighting September 18th? I
said that's a good idea. It only makes sense to do that. It makes for a better fight, a bigger fight. For their culture, it was just a better idea. So if an extra week was going to hurt me, then I wouldn't have been ready for that fight. But the extra week, it could do many things for me and him. It could the extra week of rest or extra week of work. So for both parties, I feel like it was the better thing for both parties to do. But business-wise, that was the best decision to me.
Are you big on watching tape of your opponents and stuff, or do you leave that to your trainer and your entire team?
I leave that to my trainers, but I watch personally as my fight starts to get closer and closer and closer. I watch more and more, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I watch film. I can't say like in the past I haven't, but now like this type of thing, this type of stuff that I'm fighting, this makes sense for me to only respect the game, and I have to respect the game enough to learn off of my mistakes as well as learning. I don't just look at fights that Brandon looked bad in. I look at the good things that he do. I don't care for all the bad things because I mean he could fix those things, fix those problems when it's time to fight me. So I have to look at the good things he do in the fight.
Well, as they say, as you move up in competition, there are levels to this. So it makes sense that you're, watching some tape on your guys. I mean, because this is a unification fight. I mean, there is a lot on the line in this fight, what would a win on September 18th do for you and your career?
I feel like it'll put me towards that superstar status. Honestly, I feel like this right here will be the fight that lets everybody know, all right, he running the division right now. He's the top guy at this division. He's the one making all the noise. He's the ones with, well, one of the ones with 2 belts out of the weight class. So it's like, I feel like this would be very, very good for me. Honestly, like I think it's well overdue as well.
And also the fact that I loved it that, both you and him, you beat Angeleo, and it's like, all right, now unification, here we go. I mean, it wasn't mandatory defense, wasn't, this or that. It's like, let me get back in that ring and let me go for another belt. I love that ambition out of you. It is very symbolic to being a throwback Philly fighter.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot of fighters not like that, but to each his own. I feel like this is the route that I need to go. As far as this is the first weight class I've been in. It ain't like I was start off at 26 and then went to 30. Like this, I got a belt in the first division that I turned pro in. So I feel like this was the only option for me to go. And there's never been undisputed at this weight class, and I'm like very close to that. There's never been a unified champ at my weight class from Philly. So it's like I'm in that fight right now. So it's like it only made more sense for me to take this route.
So
I feel like I like testing myself as well. I really like testing myself, putting myself up to a test to see how good to test and see how good I am. Like anybody else could like say, "Oh, Steve is a good fighter," but I still have to know that for myself because I'm the one that got to get in there. So I feel like I'll be testing myself as well.
Well, no doubt about it. Now, I will speak on that firsthand because this is going to be your 8th or 9th undefeated fighter that you have. Your 9th undefeated fighter that you competed against. I mean, that's pretty remarkable, and that's not common nowadays, I feel like.
Yeah, and this is the 4th in a row.
Wow, so this is the 4th
second champion in a row.
Second champion in a row. 4th undefeated fighter in a row.
9th undefeated overall.
Are you glad that you came up, quote unquote, the hard way, that nothing was handed to you, that you didn't have the easiest path, you didn't have to go ahead and meet the, quote unquote, limited opposition. You were kind of thrown in the mix and it was like, okay, let's see what you got. And time again, you have proven yourself.
Yeah, I feel like this made me the fighter I am, my mindset. And I feel like it just was, let's see who going to come out on top. I feel like it was a tournament. And everybody wanted to be that number one. So it was like, all right, F it. Let's see who's going to come out on top. So I feel good about taking this route, the route that was given to me. I feel good. To each his own. Everybody have a different route. Everybody have a different route. And I'm making the best out of mine.
You've been a part of the PBC family for a long time. What does being a Premier Boxing Champions fighter, being advised by Al Heyman, and working with TGB Promotions, what has that meant to you and your career?
Oh, it means a lot because they treat me good. Honestly, I feel like this is the best organization to be under. Honestly, my humble and my respectable opinion, I feel like this is the best. They take care of their fighters inside and outside the ring. I'm not gonna say too much, but inside and outside the ring. So it's like they do a very good job. And I feel like a lot of other promoters or managers don't look out or take care of their fighters like Al and the TGB Promotions does. I feel like they don't.
Yeah, Tom and Brittany do a great job along with the entire team. I mean, literally, when you guys land, there is an army there to make sure that everything that you guys need is taken care of and stuff. So, I think it's important to make sure that you guys are at ease and relaxed so that you can perform at your highest level. I saw you at the fight with Brandon Figueroa and Luis Neri, and what I'm bringing up is that I saw you getting approached by a lot of people wanting to take photos with you, people asking, just wanting to talk to you. What has that been like now that you're the champion and you're getting all this attention and people are coming up to you, you can't go to fights now and be incognito and kind of just be left alone, because that's not going to happen for you anymore.
I feel like we worked. I prepared myself for this thing. It feels good, though. I prepared myself for this. I'm a people's person. I got love for whoever got love for me. So it's like I'm not a negative person or individual. I embrace the people. I embrace it each and every time. So I feel like this is good for me. I want to be one of the guys like Muhammad Ali that can walk anywhere and get the love and not worry about being harmed or having a gazillion bodyguards with me. Like I feel like I'm that type of person. I show a lot of respect and love, and people respect me. I respect them. So just getting that type of love, the pictures and everything, and not even being able to chill when you want to chill, that's fine with me. I mean, I worked hard to get here. I might as well embrace it.
Yeah, I thought it was great because as I was preparing and getting ready to call that fight for the international audience, I saw that you were not, it wasn't a 10-second photo. Okay, hey, thanks, goodbye. You know, you actually took the time out to actually talk to people for a couple minutes and everything else. And I think that's very commendable on your part.
Yeah. I like to engage and embrace people.
Well, now, you know, you do embrace your hometown of Philadelphia, PA. Again, you know, I look at the way things are going in Philadelphia. I look at, you know, Danny Garcia, J-Rock. But then I look at this new group, like you and also Boots Ennis. And do you feel like you're part of that new group, that second tier, that it's like, okay, you know, Danny and J-Rock, they're still rocking, but guess what? You know, we're rocking and we're going to be around for 10, 12, 13 years, you know, to come in the sport.
I feel like it is. I don't feel like I just feel like that. It is. That's what it is. I feel like, well, I'm not going to say I feel like it. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are that new generation up and coming from Philadelphia. We are the guys right now, me and Dry Ennis. And I wish it was more of us coming up and doing our thing. But, you know, sometimes the streets can take fighters and family problems. And we never know what it is. But luckily, God has blessed both of us to stay on top, stay on the right and correct path. Guys like Danny Garcia and J-Rock and Tev, like, will always be in the mix. But right now, I feel like this is our time. Everybody gets a time to shine, and right now, I'm the one shining. Boots will soon get his time to shine. Like, he's shining. But what I mean by his time to shine is, as far as the world title, having that, he gonna have his time too. Everybody gets a time to shine, and I feel like when you do, just make the best out of every situation and make the best out of it.
You bring up the world title. Are there times where, you know, you're training or you're tired, you go home and you look at that world title and say, you know, that's mine. This is why I fight for it. This has opened up so many doors. Or do you kind of put it away? Do you not look at it?
It's up right now. It's up right now. It's away right now. So I can't say I look at it every day, but the times that I do look at it, I smile and I say, I need more. I need to get more. I feel like I'm not satisfied. Like, a lot of people was expecting me to show emotion my last fight. And I was wondering to myself, why didn't I show emotion? And I think it was a good thing that I didn't, because that let everyone know, and myself, that I wasn't satisfied with just becoming a world champion. I wanted more. I want to be unified. I want to be undisputed. I want to move up. I want to become 2-weight class world champion, 3-weight. So I'm not satisfied yet.
It's like the old mindset with you, act like you've been there, because that could have been, and you deserved, if you wanted, for it to be an emotional moment. Instead, you were exactly what your nickname is, Cool Boy Steph. It was like, yeah, this is fun, but, you know,
I feel like I deserve. I feel like I was been supposed to be here. This is what I feel like. I'm used to this. This is my life. That's how I carried it. This is my lifestyle. This is what I need. This is where I need to be. Everybody else was just seeing that.
So because you're from Philly, are there times, because this happens all the time in your fights, and you know where I'm going with when it comes to this, you like to mix it up and go toe-to-toe. There's always this little segment, or not, I mean, it could be a longer segment, could be a shorter segment, but you have so good of boxing fundamentals and your speed and your angles, and you are very good technically, but there's always a time where you plant your feet and it's kind of like you say to the other guy, let's go. Is that just because you're from Philly and you like being involved in those gym wars?
I wouldn't say I like being involved in gym wars because that ain't good for nobody. But I think the Philly part do play a role in it because we don't take no shit from nobody. We don't take nothing from nobody. And that goes along with my mindset, just like, all right, now I want to rumble. After a while, the boxing and everything be cool and slick, but it gets boring at sometimes. Like it gets boring a little bit. So it's like, man, I want to get in the mix. I want to be in toe to toe, and that's how I prefer to fight. But my coaches be, saving me from myself sometimes. I prefer to fight like that. But my coaches save me, and I think that's a good thing that I have good people like that around. Everyone should have a good coach like that around to let them know to save something for yourself, so you can be able to still speak to and talk to your kids later on.
Well, yeah, because, there are moments where, you're doing so well technically and on the outside that, correct me if I'm wrong, I almost feel like you get bored sometimes.
It is. I do get bored. I feel like a lot of fighters get bored and then just want to engage, like where the fun is, that's where the fun is at. In that center of that ring, that's where the fun at. A lot of people may shy away from it sometimes, but as they get warm, they want to get back to that in that center of that ring. And that's how I feel like I am.
So is that why there is this thought process of, is there a dog in somebody? Because I know without the shadow of a doubt that there is major dog in you, much like how I believe that there is major dog in Brandon Figueroa, which is why I think this is a damn good fight on September 18th on Showtime Championship Boxing.
It is, and I feel like a lot of people doubting me, and they doubting my dogness. I feel like they doubting that as well. So it's like I got a lot to prove. I'm not overlooking Brandon, and I don't want anyone to think that Steven's taking this fight lightly and this and that. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. He's here for a reason, just like I'm here for a reason. If I know how good I am, and I'm always here. Why would I would be a damn fool to think, oh, this man is not good and he's here with me at the top. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I know what to expect, but as well as I'm going to have to make them adjustments early in them early rounds and maybe the later rounds just as well as he will.
So
it will be a dog fight here and there. You never know. Who's to say?
I assume you have a plan A, plan B, plan C. Are you prepared? Have you played out the fight in your mind? You don't have to tell me how you think it's going to go, but have you played out the fight in your mind already?
I played it out here and there, but you never know what's to come. So I don't stick to one thing. I don't just set my mind focus on one plan because that plan could change in the blink of an eye, and I have to retreat and go to somewhere else. You never know. So I can't set my mind to just one thing. I gotta think of different ways and manifest different ways of how I can get the job done. And today I might be thinking like, damn, I could sit in the inside with him and beat him and do this, that, and third. Tomorrow, I gotta box him. The next day, I gotta mix it up. Then the following day is, damn, I don't know what I should do. I go there and I ask my coaches, how you think this will plan out? And I get information from them, as well as I'm already confident, but still we be needing to hear that extra confidence boost. We be needing to get that. Everyone needs that. So it's like, I don't know. That's how I go.
You're constantly, laser focused on the fight, then, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I am. I'm not around anybody. I don't be with anybody. The gym, home. The gym, strength conditioning, home.
Do you do anything to relax and keep your mind, at ease and stuff, or is it just all boxing all the time during this point?
No, like I just came back from getting a massage just now, so I do that cryo. I read my meditation book. I play Call of Duty. I love Call of Duty. Hit me up on there. Can't be stopped. Y'all know.
Awesome. Main eventing in Las Vegas. I was just there for Manny Pacquiao, your Dennis Ugas. Ugas looked fantastic. Pacquiao gave a heck of an effort. But what does it mean for you to be main eventing a world title fight in Las Vegas?
I ain't really think about that too much, honestly. I didn't think about it that much. I feel like it's a normal stage for me. I've been doing this since I was 12. Going to ringside tournaments, silver gloves, thousands of kids there. I'm fighting 3 rings, thousands of people there. So it's like I feel like I've been doing this so long, and now that I've reached once I fought Arnold Kega,
yeah,
I was on the Danny Garcia undercard, and I fought in front of thousands of people as a professional. Then I went to my second fight with nobody in there due to COVID. Now I'm back to where people at. I feel like, damn, I might really show my ass a little bit and outshine because I might be excited that is fans in attendance.
Yeah, no doubt. So what do you have planned for your ring attire? Can you give us a little bit of a preview? What do you got? I mean, obviously this is a major fight for you. You know, you have an idea of where you're going with that stuff?
No, I'm just gonna show my respects to the Mexican culture, though. I'll show my respect.
You know what I love about you guys is that both you and Brandon you both believe in yourselves, but you're both very respectful, and you both love the sport. I think this is a wonderful fight to showcase that you don't necessarily, and I don't mind bad blood. I think that's fine too. But I love the fact that you're both going to test each other because you want to prove you're the best in the division.
No, for sure. Respect takes you a long way. I stand on respect. Respect me, I'm gonna respect you. You want bad blood, we can get bad blood, but the bad blood gonna take it somewhere else. It's gonna lead from not just being in the ring and after the fight we not shaking hands. It's gonna lead to outside the ring as well. And I don't think nobody wants that from a person that's really gonna do something. So I feel like the respect way is the perfect way to go, as well as me and Brandon was always respectful to each other. You know, we're gonna talk our stuff here and there, but
yeah,
he showed respect. So all right, that's how this fight gonna be. It's gonna be a respectful fight, but it's gonna be a dirty fight. It may be a bloody fight, but it's gonna be a fight.
Okay, perfect. So how do you prepare yourself mentally for that kind of combat?
I feel like mentally, you gotta embrace it. Think about it over and over and over and over and over. Embrace it. Think about it happening. Visualize it happening. I feel like you got to really do these things and not just like ask questions. You got to do these things by yourself. Sometimes it takes time. You got to do these things by yourself. Like, I'm a fan of Viking. I'm not sure if you know what Viking is, but Viking is a TV series, and it's about Vikings. You know, Vikings kill each other with the swords and everything. And I gotta say this. It was one thing. Ragnar knew he was getting ready to go to war. And every day he would be by himself at the top of a mountain and prepare himself mentally. He'd just sit there with nobody and just think and just sit there daily. And when it finally came down there for him to fight, he fought, and they was chasing him. He ran all the way to the top of that mountain. Mountain was high as shit. And when the time came, he jumped off the mountain into the water and was unconscious, but he prepared himself mentally for that. His body was banged up. He prepared himself mentally for that over and over and over and over. And he got through it. He became king. And I feel like he became Earl, however you pronounce it. And I feel like that's what you have to do. You have to mentally prepare yourself. Think about it over and over and over and over and over. Think about it as if it's happening to you.
So you just isolate yourself.
It.
So do you isolate yourself during parts of camp and be with your own thoughts and kind of get yourself ready for, you know, what could be a difficult fight or a fight that, you know, you just want to go out there and look exceptional in?
Yep. I sit there. I be quiet in the gym at times. I be quiet at home at times. I just sit there by myself. While I'm working, I don't say nothing. I just keep working. I'm thinking to myself, I got to go hard. I got to go hard. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then as well as I still be needing to give myself the rest too and don't overtrain. So it's like I do a lot, but mainly if this is cool and this is on point, I don't think nobody could beat me.
So after this fight, assuming you're successful, do you want to go after the other champion in the division, Akhmedliev, and everything else? Is that what you want immediately next?
For sure. It will only make sense. There's only one more. Well, they might as well. There's one fight, one more fight. Let us get past this. There's one more fight to become undisputed. Let us do that. It will only make sense. He thinks he's the best in the division. I know I'm the best in the division. Let's see it. Just how me and Brandon we believe we the best in the division. We putting it up to test. Let's test it. I feel like this is how it should always be. Every belt holder should fight another belt holder, while the ones that doesn't have the belts, I wouldn't say they wait in line, but they fight one another to become that number one guy to fight for that title.
And how do you see the fight going down with you and Brandon Figueroa in a perfect world for Cool Boy Steph, Stephen Fulton from Philadelphia, PA, on Showtime Championship Boxing, September 18th in Las Vegas? How do you see the fight going down?
I feel like it's gonna be a great fight. I feel like I'm gonna be victorious at the end of the day. I can't say too much about the fight because
You
there's
don't,
always eyes and
obviously.
ears everywhere, but it'll be a good fight. It'll be a hell of a fight from both parties. I know he's coming. I know he's coming prepared. I know he's going to bring it. I know he has a gas tank. I know he's coming to bring the pressure. I know all of that, and I'm prepared for everything. I'm prepared for war. I prepared myself for this for years, but most importantly, I prepared myself for this for months leading up to this fight. So I'm just ready to get it on. I know he's ready. His team will tell him the adjustments to make as well as mine, but I'll be making the adjustments automatically as things goes on. Whatever they say and it won't work for me, then I'll just make the adjustments by myself like I always do.
Well, this is high-level prize fighting. This is what you've always wanted, and now, lo and behold, here's what you got.
For sure. I feel like that, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like everything that I've said is like a plan that just laid right in my lap. Everything I said is coming to life.
Well, I mean, how many times, and again, giving people a little bit of a history lesson, for those that don't know, you would fight at the Sands Casino when, fights were on, it was toe-to-toe Tuesdays on FS1 years ago, and you'd be like a swing fight, and you would, potentially be on TV, not TV, or you'd be the first fight on TV, going ahead and making that ring walk out in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We remember those days right back in 2016, 17, even 18, before you got to the big stages of Las Vegas and et cetera, you'd be fighting on Tuesday nights against fellow undefeated fighters.
For sure. And it's like I had 4 swing bouts. And, I fought a swing bout in L.A. And Philly is 12 o'clock. In L.A. it's 12 o'clock, but it's really 3 o'clock back in Philly.
Yeah.
So it's like the time I will be asleep at 3 in the morning in Philly. It's 12 o'clock in L.A. and I got my hands going numb. I got to get up, re-warm up, and sit back down, go back cold, get up, warm up, thinking it's my time. So I've been through those things, and now that I don't have to deal with that, it's a hell of a job. I feel good about that.
Well, you know why? Because you've earned your stripes. It's, you're going ahead and, it wasn't given to you. You had to earn that right. Now, as a main event, now you look at guys, and they're the swing fights now on your cards.
Right.
But cool, Boy Steph, hey, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Cannot wait for your fight against Brandon Figueroa coming up September 18th. All the best of luck, and don't train too hard because I know I've heard stories that you really get after it in the gym, my man. So definitely take care of yourself, and we'll see you during fight week.
Thanks. I appreciate it.